What's up, guys? Rick here with my top 5 sleepers for this week's Genesis Invitational. And these are golfers that are a little bit further down the board that I think are undervalued or have some reasons to get a second look at. There is a caveat that generally speaking, in these smaller field events where all of the best players in the world show up, it's usually a stud, a big boy that wins one of these golf tournaments. So these golfers might not have a lot of winning upside, a lot of winning equity, but they might be undervalued for their number, or they might provide value in maybe a fantasy setting, for example. If you want to bet some of these guys, you can go to the newly created RickRunGood.com/bets page, which is now the best current offers for William Hill, BetMGM, BetRivers, multiple states. So the ever-growing list is always going to be at RickRunGood.com/bets. You can get a couple $100 in free bets, sometimes a couple $1,000 in free bets, quite honestly, depending on what state you're in and depending on the current offers. But they're all pretty good right now. So go over and check that out if you have not signed up for those books yet. Otherwise, 2 live chats on Wednesday. There will be a 3 p.m. Eastern live chat, which is ownership and all final questions and answers for the Genesis Invitational. And then 8:15 p.m. Eastern time on the Rick Run Good YouTube channel, both of them on the same channel, for Jock Market Power Hour with Joe Idoni, taking you through stock market DFS. So plenty of stuff coming at you this week. Fades will be out as well. The full DFS video, that's already out. This is Sleepers. Let's jump into it. Let's just go full circle and start with last year's champion. It's Adam Scott. He's 40-1, and since he won at Riviera last year, he's only played 11 times worldwide. You know, he was one of the golfers who, even after the tour returned last summer, he was very slow to get back to the States, very slow to start his season again. So only 11 starts, and they were okay. Nothing to write home about, nothing really terrible, but his T10 at the Farmers Insurance Open in his last start was his best finish. So now he goes to a place where he's won twice a winner at Riviera. We know he's got the game when everything gets together. And quite honestly, I think some guys do play better in more difficult conditions. We saw a top 25 from Adam Scott at the PGA Championship. Of course, he makes the cut at the US Open, Farmers Insurance Open, Torrey Pines. That gets ratcheted up a bit. It's going to be a bit similar this week. You know, Riviera was the 10th most difficult golf course on the PGA Tour last season. So birdies will certainly be at a premium. And I think Adam Scott is the type of grinder that I want around Riviera. So let's start there. 40-1, Adam Scott. Next up is Kevin Na, and the reason that Na makes this list is legitimately only the winning upside. You know, he is one of the more extreme, one of the more volatile golfers that we have on the PGA Tour. He can miss multiple cuts in a row. He can miss a cut, finish top 5, miss the cut the next week, but he has legitimate winning upside that he has displayed 4 times in the last 4 years, most recently at the Sony Open in Hawaii. But this guy can put it all together, and he does not back down from big fields. He doesn't really back down from difficult golf courses. It is nearly impossible to try to figure out what weeks Kevin Na is going to have success. But when you start hanging a 90-1 number on him and you compare him to the rest of the guys at 90 or 100-1, I mean, Kevin Na does own a significantly higher percentage of win equity than a lot of the guys who are priced in a similar spot for him. So for me, Na is next on the list at 90-1. Talor Gooch is next, 175-1 for Gooch. And, this is probably a better fantasy play than it is an outright play. I don't think there's a lot of expectation that Talor Gooch is actually going to win this golf tournament, but can he outperform his, I think he's $7,200 on DraftKings. Can he outperform that salary? Certainly. And the reason that I like Gooch is he already has 2 top 5 finishes this season. One of them was at the Houston Open. The other one was at the CJ Cup. There's going to be a lot of familiar faces for him from that 5th place finish at the CJ Cup heading into this week at Riviera. And what has he done at Riviera? Well, he's played here twice. place. He has a 20th place finish and a 10th place finish. That 10th was last year. And then one of the things that I really like about some of the long shots is you don't always get a lot of guys who gain strokes in all 4 major strokes gain categories, but Talor Gooch does. And generally speaking, that gives him a pretty decent floor because he's not reliant on one aspect over another. If he struggles off the tee or he struggles putting, for example, kind of the rest of his game can pick him up from there. So a lot of things in favor of Gooch. Again, probably not going to win the golf tournament. I'd be very surprised. It's very unlikely to happen, but I do think he can be an outperformer of his salary. Brendan Steele is up next, and I've talked a lot about Steele this year. I've talked a lot about him on this YouTube channel and in various podcasts. He's 175 to 1, but the big thing about Steele, and I don't talk about FanDuel often, he is the min price on FanDuel. He is $7,000. To put that into perspective, so is Scott Harrington, Jimmy Walker, Camilo Villegas, Tyler Strafacci, Danny Lee, John Augenstein, Robert Streb, and that's the full list. Brendan Steele. That is either a lot of disrespect or a typo. That's a mistake. Brendan Steele should not be the min price really anywhere. I mean, you look at his results, 4 events in a row, 4 finishes inside the top 35, a disappointing T4 at the Sony Open, if that's a thing, played well at the American Express, played well the next couple of weeks after that. He's a great ball striker. The putter is terrible. If he can be a average putter for a week, he's going to find himself in the top 10, but specifically for Brendan Steele, he is the min $7,000 on FanDuel. It is a mistake, and I guess you got to just it's actually tough because, if this was basketball, you'd lock him into every single lineup and you'd have value there. There's still obviously a chance he misses the cut with some of these other guys, but that price is very wrong and you should be investing in it. Finally, Harold Varner III. He is 250 to 1. He was a big storyline at this event last year. Remember, he touched the lead on Sunday. It was a crazy Sunday last year. He touches the lead. He gets to 10. The iconic hole at Riviera, cold tops a 3-wood off that tee. I think he makes double, never rebounds, made a couple more bogeys coming in, and he finishes 13th. And that was one of the couple of Sunday kind of failures or meltdowns that we've seen from Howard Varner III when he's in contention on Sunday. But the good news is, outside of those, couple of holes he played on Sunday, Varner was great last year. And he was great a couple of weeks ago in his T13 at the Waste Management. And he was even okay at Pebble Beach. He missed the cut last week at Pebble Beach, but the one round of data that we had on him, the round that he did play at Pebble Beach, I mean, he struck the ball well. There was nothing really to be alarmed over. So I'm willing to fire up Harold Varner III again. He's 250 to 1. It's super deep. It's super long. His DraftKings price, his daily fantasy price is certainly reasonable. I think he could create a little magic here at Riviera like he did last year and hopefully improve on that 13th place finish. All right, there you go. My top 5 sleepers for this week's Genesis Invitational. Again, content all week long. Much appreciate the support. You can tweet me at RickRunGood or leave a comment below. Best of luck this week, and I'll talk to you guys soon.